You're throwing away hundreds of dollars of perfectly good food every year, and it's all because of a lie printed right on the package. We've all been taught that expiration dates tell us when food goes bad, but here's the truth. Most expiration dates have nothing to do with safety. Today I'm breaking down what these dates actually mean, which foods are safe to eat past their dates, and how to tell when food has really gone bad. First, let's talk about what these dates actually mean. In the United States, the Food and Drug Administration has no regulations requiring expiration dates on food labels, except for infant formula. The use of date labeling has always been at the manufacturer's discretion. That's right, these dates are mostly voluntary. But why do we even have them? Expiration dates became widespread in the 1970s. Before that, most food had no dates at all. Consumer advocacy groups pushed for them because people wanted to know how fresh their food was, especially as supermarkets got bigger and supply chains got longer. The idea was simple: help shoppers choose the freshest products and help stores rotate their stock. It was actually a good thing for consumers at the time. But here's the problem: there was never a standardized system created. The government left it up to manufacturers to decide what the dates meant. So companies started using them for quality and freshness, not safety. And because of this, there's been a pretty big misconception about what these dates mean. In fact, you've probably seen different terms on your food packages: best by, sell by, use by, and assumed they all mean the same thing. They don't, and the differences matter. Let's break down what these labels actually mean, because understanding the difference could save you a lot of money. Best by or best before means peak quality. This is when the manufacturer thinks the food will taste best. After this date, flavor and texture might decline, but it's still perfectly safe to eat. These mostly appear on frozen, dried, and tinned foods. Sell by is for the store, not you. It tells retailers when to rotate stock off the shelves. But here's the key: you can still eat it for days or even weeks after this date. Use by is typically found on highly perishable items like meat, fish, eggs, and dairy foods that can actually become unsafe due to bacterial growth. These dates are closer to safety warnings than the others. Foods with use by dates should be discarded after the date or if they show signs of spoilage, like off smells or color changes. Now that you know what these dates mean, why should you care? Here's why this matters. Americans throw away nearly 40% of the food supply, and confusion over date labels is a major culprit. The average family tosses $1,500 worth of food every year. And it's not just your wallet, it's the environment. All that wasted food ends up in landfills, producing methane, a greenhouse gas 25 times more potent than carbon dioxide. So if dates don't always tell you when food goes bad, how do you actually know? Your senses. Smell it. Your nose evolved to detect spoilage. Trust it. If it smells off, sour, or just wrong, toss it. Look at it. Mold, sliminess, or discoloration are red flags. Even if the date says it's fine, visible spoilage means it's not. Touch it. If the texture seems off, slimy when it shouldn't be, or sticky when it should be dry, that's a sign it's gone bad. Think about storage conditions. How you store your food matters more than the date on the package. If something's been sitting in a hot car or left out on the counter overnight, the date doesn't matter. It's not safe. Here's a practical example. With eggs, you can do the float test. Place them in a bowl of water. Fresh eggs sink to the bottom. Bad eggs float to the top. The bottom line is this: your senses are far more reliable than any printed date. Remember, most expiration dates are about quality, not safety. Trust your senses over the calendar. Canned and dry goods last way longer than you think. Eggs are good for weeks, and your nose is smarter than any date stamp. Start checking your food before tossing it. You'll save money, reduce waste, and realize you've been throwing away perfectly good food for years. If this changed how you think about expiration dates, like and subscribe. It helps the channel reach more curious minds like yourself. Alright, that's it for this video. I will catch you in the next one.